Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Rufus Carpenter, and tonight, welcome to Sunday Night at 9. How you doing, Gigi? Welcome, happy there. What's up, Coach Glenda? What's up? Glad everybody here.
Hello.
Hi, we're Sunday night at 9, and every Sunday night at 9 o'clock, we come on with the format very simple. Well, we've got 20 of your girlfriends are in your living room and you're relaxed. It's a safe place. You have a cup of wine or a glass of wine or your favorite drink, and you have 20 of your girlfriends in there. And we're going to start a conversation about relationships. Now, normally we have a topic each week, but even though we have a topic each week, if there's something in your mind or your heart about relationships, we ask that you bring it out. Now, you can get in as much or as little as you want to. You can talk or don't talk. You can be shown or not. It's totally up to you. This is a safe zone. And in this safe zone, tonight, we're going to have a great topic for you tonight. And tonight's topic is rediscovering the joy, keeping fun, the heart of fun in love. Once again, rediscovering joy, keeping fun at the heart of love. Okay, I'm here with my co-host, Glenda, and right now I'll let Glenda introduce herself, and then we'll start.
Good evening, everyone. I am Coach Glenda. I am so happy to be here tonight, looking at all of your wonderful faces. Just a little bit about myself. I had came out of almost an 8-year marriage where it did not serve me, where I was not a priority and I was constantly neglected. And it almost took approximately 18 years to recover and get my life back in order. And if I had reset to healthier relationships back then, like we have it now, I would not have made the mistakes that I have made thus far. But I am truly thankful that I was able to go through my journey in that undeserving, unfulfilling marriage, as well as I really appreciate the lessons that I learned throughout my journey of regaining my life back, being able to rediscover myself, find out what Glenda liked and what Glenda did not like. And I stopped living for someone else and I started living for myself. But that is it for me right now. Most of you guys already know, but I don't mind every now and again chiming in, giving you guys a little bit of background about me, myself, and I. And Mr. Carpenter, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay, good. Thank you, Glenda, for that. We appreciate that. We're glad to have you here. And everybody know Glenda is the one that started this. This is under Glenda's Get It and Go, Reset Full Service Relationship Coaching. That's how it brings us Sunday night. So thank you, Glenda, for doing that for us. Oh, we are on part 2. This is Rediscovering Joy, Keeping the Fun at the Heart of Love, part 2. Last week, we had a ball. If you were here last week, we laughed and we had so much fun. As a matter of fact, I'm still a little tickled from last week. And also at the end, we kind of ended with activities, and we're going to carry over and do the activities this week. But I'm going to do a quick rundown from last week, because last week was such an amazing time with this topic last week. So I'm going to do a quick run from last week. Last week, we introduced the importance of joy in a relationship. When you have you and your partner, it's very, very essential that you have joy, because without joy, you really don't have too much. It gets run down. You don't seem like you're in a rut. Seem like it's very hard to find the happiness. When you have joy in a relationship, life becomes different. You enjoy more, the sparks there, the connections there. It's a more healthier situation. It's less stressful. And these are the reasons why we bring joy. Last week, we had so much joy talking about joy in relationships. I laughed the majority of last week's session. The majority of you laughed a majority of last week's session. And the objective of it tonight is to infuse more fun into your partnership, into your relationships. That's the whole objective of the night. Just to do a quick review of last week Last week we actually started by talking about joy, and we talked about what joy was to you, and we talked more so about joy in a longer term relationship. We didn't talk about the joy starting relationships, and we'll talk more about that a little bit as we go into this. We'll talk about joy you get when you first get in a relationship, but we were talking about joy for people that have been in a relationship more, maybe 6 months to a year, a couple years, or 5 years, or 20 years in a relationship. Just think, if you've been with your partner for 20 years and you have joy in that relationship, you have something golden. You know, used to be a time when people was married 20, 40, 50 years, and the couple, they grew old together, and you saw them when in the store, you saw them when you went to the pharmacy or when you went to the grocery store, you would see these old couples, and they were so cute, and so, it was just so beautiful to see that. We don't have as much of that as we had back then, because this thing called modern relationship has come out, and people are microwaving relationships now. They want what's in it for them. It's not so much what's in it for the group, it's what's in it for them. Right. And we're trying to get back to the point where we can teach the values and the virtue of having a fun relationship and having enjoyment with your spouse or your boo. Okay? Now, last week we did some scenarios. We talked about Janet and Marcus, and how in their 20-year marriage, how they realized that they needed to re-spark things. And they came out with what's called a venture night. And they said every Saturday evening, we're going to have what's called an adventure. And they would bring new things in, and it worked really well for them. And that was only one. We did 4 different scenarios. And then we talked about Lisa and James. And Lisa and James, they had realized that the spark was gone out of their marriage and their relationship. So they thought about, how could they rekindle that? How could they bring the spark back? So they came up with the idea of start going dancing. So they took up salsa dancing. Salsa, I can't say it right, salsa dancing. They took it up. And then from that, it was so much fun. They enjoyed themselves. They got the spark back in it. They stepped outside their comfort zone. And it was very, very therapeutic for their relationship and their connection. Next, we talked about Sarah and Tom. Sarah and Tom, again, had decided that, hey, they needed something to spark their relationship up. So when they took one night a week, they said, we're going to take one night a week and we're going to dedicate it just for fun. And we're going to have fun that night. And they took, matter of fact, they took a Wednesday, they took an ordinary Wednesday, and they made that a special Wednesday. And they start doing things. They start doing extraordinary things. And they had so much fun because they had that fun night. And it worked out for them, and their whole situation, the whole life, the whole relationship changed. And we ended up talking about Rachel. Now, Rachel, she didn't tell us much about her partner, but while Rachel told us that she wanted to do more games, she wanted to be more playful in her relationship. So she entered games into her relationships. She entered board games, and she even used some electronic games. And she found out that they had so much fun, and she found that they was teasing each other, and they had so much fun, and it was so much fun. And she shared that it was a beautiful time with her and her partner, and we learned from that. As we did that, we had people on the line called in. As a matter of fact, Alice called in and talked about her relationship and talked about how she had just went out on a date with her husband, and it was out of the blue. They went to the club, and she normally don't go to the club. Matter of fact, they went at like 1 o'clock in the night, and they went to the club, and they didn't stay long, but she had such good fun with her husband. And she was telling us even weeks later, she was getting dividends from that return on investment of spending that hour in the club, that she had so much fun. And she was saying that club may not be for everybody, but it's something that she did different that she normally don't do, that it was such fun. Okay. And because of that, we ask you tonight, before we start, what do you call joy? What's joy to you in your relationship? Oh, before I say that, Annette brought up last week that sometimes joy in an old relationship don't work, because she said you're set in your old ways, and it's very hard to get somebody to change. And she even said that maybe your new relationship, that you would find somebody to do those change. And I said, stop, Annette. Whoa, slow down. We're not trying to get you to change your partner. This is about getting you to put more spark in a relationship you're already in. Right. Now, and that was our thing we had to bring up. And then Sharon, I think Sharon came on board and said, well, hey, look, yeah, she kind of agreed with Ann that it's hard to get your old partner in it because once you get in the old partner, you get into a rut and it's hard to change. But we spent the majority of the night sharing how do we get a person out of the rut? How do we infuse joy into a relationship? Now, Angela was on last week and she shared the joy of the Lord. And she said, if you pray together and all that joy and Lord will strengthen relationship, which is true. We don't knock that. But a lot of people right now, it's hard for them to understand that. So what can we do? What can we do, or what can you do, or what you and your spouse or boo or partner can do? And this is not just always about your partner, your lover in your life. It's about your family members, your neighbors, your co-workers at work. When you're talking about putting fun in relationships, if you have a relationship with your coworkers or your neighbor or your best friend, how do you put joy back in those relationships? So this is on that same line. And we came up with some activities. And that's where that's what made us take it into part 2. But before we get to those activities, let's first talk about what joy means to you. Joy for me, and I'll start out first. Joy means that I feel happy when I go home. I can't wait to get home to my spouse or my significant other. I can't wait to get there because we can talk about our day. We can share. We can talk about what our plans are. We can talk about, just what, just make our relationship so special. And that's what joy means to me. Okay. Anybody else want to share what joy means to them? Okay, Linda, why don't you share yours so that way they'll have an example so we can talk about sharing joy. What does joy mean to you in a relationship? Hey, Dr. Johnson.
For me, joy means, being able to come home, having someone that I can tell about my day, the goods, the bad, and be able to vent without being judged. Looking forward to when I'm at the house, say I beat them home, I'm able to prepare that night's dinner, to show my appreciation. It's just a little bit of quiet time that we'll share right before bedtime. And just, that quality time at the end of the night after everything settles, the conversation comes to an end, dinner is over, maybe even a quiet bath, just looking at each other from across the table and just complimenting each other. That's what my version of joy is in my relationship.
Okay. And who else want to share? Let's talk about this. Let's share what joy looks like so we all can get an understanding of what joy is, because joy may be a different meaning for you than it is for me or Glenda. Who wants to share their joy in their relationship? Okay, am I asking the wrong question? I guess maybe I ask who has joy in their relationship. Maybe that's the question. And if that's not the question, who wants joy in their relationship?
I think everybody wants to join the relationship. I guess they're trying to summarize what their version of their joy is. I mean, sometimes when you throw a question at somebody, they're not always ready to respond. So it's understandable, but you should at least know what you like.
Yes, because joy is those memorable moments in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The things that build a healthy relationship. The beauty of it is when you have a tough day at work and you come home, or a tough week at work, and you come home and your spouse, significant others is able to break that up for you and bring some joy in your life to break the stress of that up. You just say, if I can just get home, if I just get inside that door, there's peace and there's joy waiting on me. So those are things, it's not the big things or the challenging things that bring the joy. Joy can be as simple as, your boo having your bath water home for you, run, bath water, scented candles or whatever there. When you get out of the tub, have your favorite slippers and a great meal. And you guys can sit and eat together and talk about today or talk about what your plans are for the next vacation. It's so many things that bring you joy. And that's why I want you to share, what's your joy? What do you see joy is? And somebody put something in the text. I can't read. Let me see. Joy is associated with feeling happiness, contentment, or delight and sharing quality time. So true. So true.
Absolutely.
That's joy. That is joy. That's one form of joy. Um, the joy is the heartbeat of relationships. If you in a true relationship, joy is the heartbeat of it. When relationships get to be a struggle, relationships get to be a rut, when relationships get to bring you down, when relationships begin to bring you sadness, or if you were in a relationship with a taker and they're taking everything from you and they're bleeding you dry, this is not what we're talking about. We're talking the opposite of that. And we're talking about how can you make those relationships more playful? Who plays
Right.
in a relationship? Who still have playful? We used to say horse around back in the day. Who horse around in a relationship? Who plays?
Well,
Go ahead, Dr. Johnson. I'm sorry.
yeah, well, that's okay. For me, laughter.
Yes.
If you can bring laughter in, to just take the distractions off the stress.
Mm-hmm.
So laughter is like a good medicine for me and everybody else.
Yes, yes. That remind me of a joke Sinbad used to tell. And I'm gonna tell part of the joke. I ain't gonna tell the whole joke, but I'm gonna tell part of it just to get us started some laughter.
Okay.
Sinbad told a joke that he said him and his wife had broke up, and he went with this younger lady. He started talking to this younger lady, and him and the young lady was having a good time. They lived together, and they was having a great time. And then and Sinbad was like, I think 8 to 10 years older than the young lady was. And then all of a sudden one day Sinbad couldn't talk. He woke up, he couldn't talk, and he couldn't talk. And he couldn't hardly move. So he made his way to the bed to tell his new wife, a new girlfriend, hey, help me. And she told me, Sinbad, stop playing. You're playing so much. Stop playing. Quit it. You always want to play. And she's like, Sinbad, I told you stop playing now. Go ahead, I'm trying to sleep. And the more she was swatting back, the more he was. So he made it to the phone and he dialed his ex-wife. His ex-wife said, you had a heart attack, dude, and a stroke. Call the ambulance. Call 911. So he called 911 and they came and got him. They got him, saved him before he died, and they brought him to. So the moral is you got to understand what your joy is.
Wow.
So joy can, if you don't have the right joy, it can kill you.
Got that right. His ex-wife had to tell him what was going on.
Yeah, so I say that to let you know joy is important in a relationship. If you can play around your partner and your partner can play around with you, and it's not also so serious, because stress can kill you. I don't know if you don't know, but stress ain't no joke. Stress can kill you. Stress can put weight on you. Stress can give you all kind of medical issues. Yes. Stress can have you having a medicine cabinet in your pocketbook. I'm telling you, that's what stress can do for you. So let's get into our activity. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna share my screen a little bit. Now, if you was on last week, you know what we did. We talked about. Okay, let Cheryl on. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. We talked about last week. We talked about activities. Before we ended, we were talking about activities. We're talking about what are some of the things that you wish you could do in a relationship. It was a group activity, and what we did, we said we had everybody participated. We had everybody agreed to participate. So what we asked people is, we said this is the dream list, and we asked people to go in the chat and put in the chat 3 things that you always wanted to try with your mate. 3 things that you always wanted to try with your mate. So we had everybody put it in the chat. We had 3 things to put in chat. And if everybody can, hope everybody can see. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, this is the actual list. This is the actual chat from last week. This is the transcript we had from last week. And if anybody's new that wasn't here last week, what we decided after we went through all our scenarios and we talked about our topic, and after we talked about everything, we decided to, hey, how can we put joy in our current relationship? Because last week was part one of this, and the topic was rediscovering joy. Keep fun at the heart of love.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about rediscovering joy. Keep fun at the heart of love. And we talked about 4 scenarios, and we talked about how they put so much joy back in the relationship because it was in a rut. And we talked about how can we make this personal? How can we bring this home to us? Because we gave this case studies about 4 other people. Well, it was 8 other people because it was 4 couples. How can we make this personal for us? How can we bring it to our own life, our own relationship? And once again, this don't have to be with your lover or your boo. This could be with your family. This could be with a coworker. This could be with your friend. This right here is things you can bring into your relationships. So how can we bring our relationships better? So I asked everybody to put in chat 3 things that they always wanted to try with their mate or their partner or their friend. And everybody participated last week. And these are the things that everybody put in. And we put everything in. We had, what do we got? Let's see what we got in here. We got in here,
I think there's a page missing, Mr. Carpenter.
You think so? You sure?
Yeah.
Well, this starts from 9, this is 9:21.
But we didn't get to the good stuff until a little bit later.
Yeah, okay, 9:30. Let's see. Maybe okay. I hope I ain't mess it up. Okay, I'm not the most
tech savvy.
Yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to this, but so bear with me a little bit, y'all, so I can find this. Oh, you're right. It's 9:30. I got more. Oh, you're right. There's a page missing. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hey, we in this. You're right. There's a page missing. I'm sorry. It was 2 pages. I apologize.
I knew somebody was talking about the poll.
Okay, let's go through this. Let's go through this so everybody can read it. Okay. If you have any comments or questions while I'm doing this, please feel free to talk. I just want to make sure you got this. Who was here last week? Anybody was here last week that want to share some of the things we talked about in some of last week?
When you say share, what you talking about? The things that they want to...
Yeah, just how last week went and how when it got to this part.
Okay.
I think we started right in here somewhere. So this is 18 after. Okay, somebody said, Gigi said, never stop dating. And somebody said, Sharon said, so true. And somebody else said, so true. And then they reacted to that. Okay, let's see. And then somebody said, let's see. Somebody said do board games, and that's what board games. The board games was good. Somebody said Twister. Twister is good. Okay, we got Twister. Can everybody see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so everybody can see my screen. Good. And then we talked. Somebody said Bible study. Okay. Okay. Then somebody said drive-in theater. And I think I made a comment that there's a drive-in theater in Lakeland, Florida, that's operating right now. And then Ava said there's one in Connecticut that she know about. Gigi said taking a day trip. And then Sharon said sitting in the car, the drive-through, and a table, watching a movie is good. Then somebody said sitting in the car. Glenda said somebody sitting in the car. I don't know what that was. And then I think Sharon said ain't enough men on date night. So we asked her to invite somebody. And then somebody said, Gigi said, spicing it up with a partner. And then we said, somewhere we got, and Sharon said something about a poll. And then Glenda said, react to the poll. And then somebody said, that's a good idea. Somebody said, being spontaneous. Okay,
somebody said zip lining and skiing.
What now?
Someone said zip lining and skiing.
I ain't see that. Where you see that at?
Go back down a little bit.
Oh, you've gone. Okay, you're ahead of it. Okay, good. Somebody said going to Paris. Somebody said, and then this is where we started at. This is where everybody started at. Yeah, but you got Alice in here. So this is where we started from my last. So now what the thing was, the activity was everybody was participating. This is where we started right here, right, Glenda? Somewhere in here.
Right.
Okay. Now, what everybody had to do, everybody had to pick 3 things themselves, 3 things that they wanted. And we call this a dream activity list. And you
Okay.
pick 3 things that you want to try with your partner, or 3 adventures you want to try with your partner. And I asked everybody to put it in chat.
Right.
And these are the things in chat. That was the first level. Now, if you weren't here last week, I want to give you a chance to be a part of this too. Now, we're not going to see what you want in there because I think this right here is, well, yes, you can, because you guys can see this on my screen. Then y'all can see what's in chat too. So if you wasn't here last week, this is awesome. So we still can do both. If you weren't here last week, please take a few minutes. We'll give you about 3 or 4 minutes. And we ask that you would put 3 things in the chat. We ask you to go into the chat and put 3 things that you wish you could do with your partner. 3 things, 3 activities or adventures you wish you could have done with your partner. And you might say, well, I don't have a partner right now. Do it with your next partner or your future partner, or which you could have did with your last partner. So now everybody's got a partner. You either got a partner you have right now, got a partner you had, or you got a partner in your future. So everybody's got a partner. So put 3 things in the chat. If you weren't here last week, put 3 things in the chat right now that you wish that you could do with your partner for fun.
Okay.
And it's up to you. You can put whatever you want to put. Nobody's telling you what to put. Put 3 things. And we'll give you 3 minutes. Okay, who's reading the chat? Glenda, you looking at the chat? Can you see the chat, Glenda? The current
I'm on
chat.
my phone.
Then who can see the chat? Are you okay? If you can't see it on your phone, who can see it in the chat?
Oh no.
Because I can't do 2 things at one time because I don't want to mess the screen up. Because if I try to look at the chat, I might mess up.
Yeah, and that's what I did.
Who can see the chat? So somebody see the chat, the current chat? Can you see the current chat, Dr. Johnson?
Yeah, but there's nothing in there yet.
Okay. Who wasn't here last week? If you weren't here last week, can you please put 3 things in the chat that you wish you could do with your partner, your current partner, or your last partner, or your next partner? And it could be anything. It could be anything you want that you think would be fun for you and your partner to do.
Right. We have so far.
It could.
So
what
far,
now?
So far, we have someone commented and said last week they wanted to go to the mountains and go to Paris. Those are examples. Playing cards, walking at night, playing softball. Those are examples of things that you and your partner can do together.
Okay, we have anybody that went the last week that's here this week. Have they put anything in the chat yet?
No.
No chat, nobody's competing? Okay. All right, then we'll go what we already got. All right, now, that was the first leg of the journey. The first leg of the journey was, well, maybe first to the people that's from last week, that here this week, so they need more time. First, because they may need more time. They could be like us. They could be thinking what they're going to put in it. Let's give them another 2 minutes. And if they haven't got it by 2 minutes, then we'll press on.
Okay.
Now, who do we have that was here last week that's got something in the chat already from last week? I know you're here, Dr. Johnson. Who else we got here from last week? Who we got? We got Dr. Johnson. I saw Ava. I saw Gigi. Who else? Was anybody else here from last week? I think Fire Talbot was here last week, wasn't she? I think that's all I saw.
Angela.
Okay. Angela's here now. She's here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm sorry, Angela. I didn't see you got my screen, got all this on. Angela was here, so good. I think Angela was the one to put the joy of the Lord up there. Okay. Hey, that's good. Hey, because somebody put Bible study, and because if you pick Wednesday nights as your activity night, that most Bible studies are Wednesday night. So if you and your mate gonna do something, go to Bible study first, and that's the best way to start your date night off. I can't think of no better way. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, now the first leg was to put 3 things you wanted to do. So we got that in there now. And then the second thing was what we call double the fun. Double the fun was pick one out of everything that's on that list. Pick one thing that you really want, that you want to do the most. After you look at what you wrote and everybody else wrote, look at one thing that sticks out to you that you think that you really wanted to do more than anything on that list. All right, so let's look at that list. Hey, Glenda, can you see the list, Glenda?
What the list
from last week? From last week.
Yeah, that you're sharing. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Glenda and I are gonna pick something out too, so that way we'll start it off for you, so we'll know. So we'll pick something out of the list that we wish we could do with our mate or our partner or our neighbor or however you want to look at that.
Did you
so
say
we all
neighbor?
gonna look at the list, and that was it. That was the next thing was pick one thing from that list. Now, what we're gonna do is the one thing you pick from that list, we'll put it on this week's list.
Okay.
So everybody can put it in now. The one thing that you liked from the list last week, pick it and put it on this week's list. And Glenda, you and I will tell ours, Glenda. We won't put it in, we'll tell ours. But everybody else can put it in the chat. So if you can see the list, or you remember the list, and you should, if you were here last week, you should already picked it. Now, if you knew and you weren't here last week, see if you see some things on that list you wish you could have done with your partner. Now I see one I'm gonna try. I see one I want to try.
Oh Lord.
Okay, everybody seeing it?
No.
Okay, do I need to back up or go forward or what? I'll go back up a little bit. Cause I see which one I picked. You picked yours yet, Glenda?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, have everybody put theirs in the chat? Anything in the chat yet, Dr. Johnson?
No.
What's up with this? Man,
well,
she just said going to the mountains.
To the mountains, Gigi.
She just put in there going to the mountains.
Yeah, but last week you guys had picked it. Last week we'd already picked it. So everybody here from last week should already know what theirs is.
That was right towards the end, Mr. Carpenter.
Huh?
That was right towards the end when you told us to pick one of everything that was on the list.
And everybody picked one. We had everybody picked it. Angela was the last one that hadn't picked anything.
Oh, okay. I'll pick it. Going to Alan, and I wanted to put.
Don't tell us, Angela. Put it in. Put it in the chat. Don't tell us. Put it in the chat, please.
Okay.
Only Glenda and I are gonna tell ours right now. All right, we give you 3 minutes. Give you 3 minutes. If you was here last week, please put what you picked last week. Put it in the chat. That one thing from all lists. It don't have to be what's on your list, but what's on this stream. Pick one thing that you wish you could do the most, which would resonate the most with you and your partner, or you want to try with your partner or venture with your partner. I picked one thing.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what this is.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Anybody got any comments while we're waiting for everybody to put theirs in there? If you weren't here last week, you missed a good one, because last week was so much fun. Getting to this, it took us a minute to get here, but we had a fun going there. Then with Dr. Johnson. We had fun last week.
I think we had a good time with this one.
Yeah,
I think the anticipation of what was next, because we had to just pick one, I think that was the most exciting thing for tonight.
Okay.
What were you going to do with that one that we
Okay, now everybody got that one, right? Dr. Johnson, how many people got something in there?
Gigi.
That's it.
Yeah. Did you?
Yes.
We should have kept this thing going last week then, because everybody was.
Mildred said Bible study.
I see what Mildred says.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Glenn, let's you tell ours, so that way maybe that'll give somebody some type of a push to put theirs in there.
Motivation to go.
Okay, I'll go first. Oh, you want to go first? You want me to go first, Glenda?
I can go first. A trip to Paris.
Okay, trip to Paris. Okay, awesome. Good choice. Mine is, let me find mine on the board again. Let me find mine on the board. Let me
You
find.
should have had that memorized.
I got it memorized, but I want to find on the board and see who said it, so I know who put that up there. Well, Annette just come on.
Okay.
Hey, let's give Annette a chance to say what hers is first. What we say. Hey, Annette, hi Annette, you there? Annette, are you there?
Finally, yes.
Okay, Annette, you remember what you picked last week to be your one best thing? Do you remember? Don't tell me. Just put it in the chat. Don't tell me. Put it in the chat right quick. We give you a chance.
Okay,
put it in the chat.
On.
Don't tell me. Put it in the chat, please.
Okay.
I can't see mine no more that I picked. Man, I can't. It's probably here. Oh, we got Andre here.
All right.
We missed you last week, Andre.
We sure did. Matter of fact, Andre, everybody was in the chat last week. Andre, you there?
I just logged on. I didn't hear the whole statement. I'm sorry.
All right, everybody was saying how they missed you last week.
Oh, I truly missed you guys. I really did.
I can't see what I was looking for. But Andre, what we're doing, Andre, last week we asked everybody, because we were getting in last week, we asked everybody to put 3 things on the chat that they wouldn't mind doing with their partner. And it could be the partner that you have, the partner that you used to have, or the partner that you're going to have. And we asked 3 activities you wish you could do with your partner, or you want to do with your partner. They could be activities or adventure. And if you look at my screen, here's what everybody wrote in the chat. And right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to pick one thing out of what everybody's got on the board. It could be one of the 3 things that you put, but you weren't here. One of the 3 things that you put yourself, or it could be one of the things that somebody's already put on the board, on the chat. And we're going to pick one thing from that. Glenda said she picked, and we're asking the audience to put yours in chat, that one thing you picked. Glenda and I are telling ours. Glenda said that she would go to Paris.
Right, Paris.
I saw mine. I don't see it no more. So mine was, there it is. Mine is a shower in the rain. That's what I want to do. I want to shower in the rain. Me and my partner can shower in the rain. I think that would be fun. That would be something different for me. I think I would enjoy that. Especially now, not in the winter, but it's got to be in the spring or summer. I don't want no cold rain. I want some warm rain. So that's mine. That's mine. That when I never thought about that before, but when I saw that, I said that would be interesting. Think about it. You and your partner out there in the rain. Well, let's leave it alone. Okay, now if everybody got something in the chat, we got the next part of this. What's in the chat, Dr. Johnson? We got anything in the chat yet?
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you, Dr. Johnson. Don't tell me what it is. Just tell me we got something in there. You don't have to read them.
Yeah.
Okay, we got something good. All right, now, the next part of this is called Plan It Out. Now, how can you add this to your routine right now? If you plan it out, how can you add it to your routine? Now, Annette said last week, if you tell your partner, let's do this, they're going to say, where you get it from? I think Annette said last week, they're going to think you've been out cheating. But so if that's the case, how are you going to add whatever you picked? How are you going to add it to your thing? Okay, Glenda, if you had your partner, Glenda, how would you add going to Paris to your routine with your current partner? How would you do that, Glenda?
I would make a suggestion that we take a trip to Paris together.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's not bad. Now, me, it gotta be a little different. I'm gonna say, hey, baby, look, you know what? I got this fantasy and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And it might be a little kinky to you or it might seem a little strange, but you know what? If you trust me, believe in me, can we try this? She goes, wait, what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? That might be the first thing she's saying. I'm saying, hey, look, I want to shower out in the rain. You know, I spent 20 years in the military, and I always wondered what it would be like to take a bar of soap and just go out in the rain. Would you do it with me, baby? Hopefully she said
No,
we go out there in the rain and we'll do it. That's how I would put it in there. Okay. Now,
no.
now everybody need people in the chat. Put how you would actually bring this out. How would you plan it out? Put it in the chat. Give you a minute to put in the chat. How would you plan it out? How would you plan out that one thing that you want to do? How would you plan it out? Put it in the chat, please. Go ahead.
Mr. Carpenter.
Uh-huh.
Now, when you think about it, if you ask an African American Black woman, do she want to go shower out in the rain? The first thing she gonna think about is her hair.
They go to the beach. They go to the pool. The same hair go to the beach. Same hair go to the pool. I always heard rainwater was good. they got a shampoo called rainwater, rain wash. Come on,
White rain, white rain. I tell you, you can find good in everything, sir.
There is good in everything, and everything there is good.
Okay. I can't read your whole note, Andre.
All right, come on, guys. Let me know when everybody figured out how they're gonna plan that one thing, how they're gonna get it into their current routine. Once I got that, then I got the next part of this. We got 2 more parts and we'll be finished with this. Because we want to end it tonight. We're not going to a part 3. We're stopping tonight, please. Dr. Johnson, everybody got something in there for that? We can go to the next part. Oh, next part. Okay. Mark it on the calendar. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let's do it when. Now, let's get it in. Now, Glenda, when would you want to go to Paris, Glenda?
In like when it's not too hot or when it's not too cold. I'm not too sure their temperatures throughout the year.
Pick a time, because you got to tell me when. You can't tell me when it's not too cold. That's too iffy.
Okay, fall.
Okay, fall what year? We're in fall right now.
Let's see, fall 2020. Let's see, no, I got something going on 2025. How about fall 2026?
Oh, that means you ain't going. Okay. All right. All right. Fall 2026. Okay. Now, I would say for mine, I would say one day in June. I say the first rainy day in June. For me telling my boo or my partner, so let's go out in the rain and shower in the rain. First day in June.
Yours don't cost no money but a bar of soap.
Yeah, but all depends where you at. If you in the city where someone got neighbors, you're going to jail. We gotta get it in. It might cost me some time. we might have to rent a cabin in the woods in North Carolina, in the woods somewhere.
I tell you. Okay, Mr. Carpenter.
Okay, all right. So now, okay, everybody picked up when they're gonna do it in there. Dr. Johnson, look and see if people put some time frames in that when they're gonna get it in.
I see something popping up. It's just that I can't see the full message.
If anybody putting in time frames in there when getting it scheduled,
I saw a few.
Okay, good. We'll give it 2 minutes and then we'll go on to the last part of this.
Okay.
Okay, 1 more minute. Okay, next part is reflect and connect. Reflect and connect. Now let's talk about it. Do you care to share? Now this is hard for you to do right now, but we're gonna if you do this with your mate, your partner, your neighbor, whoever you call special, if you do this with them, how would you care to share how it went, how it happened? I know Alice was on last week and she told us how when her husband took her to the club and she said she was sleeping and he called and said, "Come on, baby, get up, 1 o'clock. Come on, we're going to the club." And she said, "You crazy fool." But then he said, "Come on now, let's do it. Come on. What do you got to lose?" So she finally got up and she did it. And she came back. She said she had the best time. She said only stayed an hour, but she said she had the best time. And she said it for a couple of days and weeks. They still talked about it, had fun from that.
Right.
So that made a major difference. So let's talk about it. And I always say, care to share? So you care to share, what would parents mean to you, Glenda? I know we kind of getting you kind of ad-libbing a little bit, but Glenda, what would going to Paris look like for you and your boo, or you and your spouse, or you and your significant other? What would you think the benefits would be for you?
Well, it's taking me out of my comfort zone. It's somewhere that I've never been before, and the language would be a challenge, you know. And then their cuisine. So it's more, the biggest thing for me is taking me out of my comfort zone, but the sacrifice that was made to get me there would be the best part of the whole adventure.
Okay. All right. Now, for me to take my spouse, significant other, or boo, or a girlfriend, or out there to do it, to actually take and shower in the rain, then first it would be scared. I'd be scared to death. That's the first thing, fear. And with that fear would bring me to getting adrenaline going in my body. I'd be excited, the excitement of going out there, looking around, see who's out there, making sure I can get out there without anybody seeing me, getting out there, getting the soap, getting out there, and then pulling her out there, getting her out there, and she talking about she ain't gonna go, and no, and I'm pulling her, come on, girl, come on, we'll go out right quick. And getting out there doing it. Then while we're out there washing up, looking all around, the water's cold, we're trying to wash up right quick. Got all the soap on us, trying to get the soap off of us, trying to dry off and get back in the house. Man, that would be fun. After we get back in the house, that would be so, we would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. It would be so much fun. It would be so much fun. I'm telling you, I would just laugh. And because once I got back inside, no more fear of being seen, then I could just have a good, man, it would be a tremendous high. I'm just telling you, that's how it'd be. Okay. Now everybody just share in the chat what that moment for you would look like if you could do what you put down, all these steps, these 4 things you put down. What would that make you feel? What do you feel you could get out of that? What would be the end result? What would be the benefit to you? Put it in the chat.
You want them to put it in the chat? You don't want them to speak it out?
Nope, I don't want them to speak it out because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. I want this to be their moment.
Okay.
Put it in the chat because I don't want to mess your moment up. Because if I tell you to speak about it, you're not going to be honest. Well, I'm not. You might be honest, but it's harder for you. I think it's harder for somebody to say it than it is to write it.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you write, just to write to see in your own words, it stick with you because they got something called spaced repetition. The more you write something down, or the more you do it, and I think Becca 2-2 says write the vision on it and make it plain, and people run when they see it. See, so this stuff is stuff I want you to do. The stuff you wrote, I'm hoping you're honest with yourself, and it's something you really want to do. It's something that's going to bring you and your partner joy.
Right.
And that's what this is. That's what this is. This is a chance to realize something. We always talk about how we can, how our relationships are bad, and how I'm gonna get rid of that fool, or that fool this, or that fool did that. You're gonna tell your girlfriend how they did this and how they did that. Let's talk about some good stuff for a change. Let's talk about something good. Let's talk about how we want to love them better, and how we want them to love us better, and how we can be better in a relationship, how we want to bring fun, how we want to play. How we want to spend that moment just thinking about how we can make our life and our connection deeper and better. This is all this is. That's all this drill is. This drill is a dream list. How can you enjoy yourself? Look forward to a relationship. Put a smile on your face. Don't frown and say, that's my husband. That's my boyfriend. That's my man. That's my girl. You want to say, that's my wife, man. That's my girlfriend. Oh, man, she's the best. She's my beauty. You want to change that narrative. Especially in your own heart and your own head.
Right.
Because if you change in your own heart and your own head, man, it makes all the difference in the world. Because your perspective makes all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. And that's what this was tonight. This was a night. We're supposed to have done this last week. This was supposed to be in the cap of last week, but we ran out of time. And this is too important to not have gotten in. So that's why we're doing it tonight. We wanted you to realize something. You don't always have to focus on the negative. Because see, we as people, We as people, we always focus on what we're afraid of versus what we want.
Right.
We always focus on he gonna cheat, she gonna spend the money, she gonna run out, she gonna pay. We always focus on the wrong, what we're afraid of.
Trying to sabotage the relationship.
Yes, let's focus on what we want. Let's switch that narrative. Let's focus on what we want. We want a better relationship. We want a deeper connection. We want to spend more quality time. We want to have fun. We want to do fun things. We want to love the one we have at home. That's the one we're supposed to be with. We want to find that right mate. We want to find our soulmate.
Correct.
We expected to have the right person in our life. We want to be more enjoyable. You know, the Surgeon General's come on board and said widespread loneliness is the biggest epidemic in America today. So if that's the case, if we got something to do, let's change that.
Right.
Let's love better. Let's connect. Let's be more friendlier. At least let it start at home. Let it start with your boo. Man, if you can't tell your wife, your girlfriend, your child, your children, your family, your cousin, your neighbor, you love them, who are you gonna tell? Let the joy start there at home. Find more joy in your relationship. The time that you spend out trying to chase another person, if you have a wife, or a husband, or girlfriend, or boyfriend at home, or in your relationship, or in your life, spend that time with them. Cultivate that time with them. Because if you cultivate that time with them, you might find that love you're looking for right there in your own house.
Right.
Right there in your own space. So that's what the night was all about. The night was all about, how can I bring that joy, that happiness, that playfulness, that spark? How can I bring that back into my life and to my partner's life, to our union? Either it's a friendship or it's just a connection. How can I bring it? How can I make that stronger? And that's what the night was about. Okay. Any comments, any questions? Glenda, you got anything you want to say?
Are we finished with the activities for tonight?
Yeah, we're done with activities. We're done. Because I wanted them to say it. This is for them. This is internal more than external. This is for the person that participated. The person that participated, that did the typing and put it in chat, they're the ones that benefited the most from this.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. What you want to say?
Okay. As always, I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight, because I know that Sunday nights at 9 is a huge sacrifice. But, I want to also make you guys aware of our upcoming events in 2025, which is the conference in Leesburg, Florida, as well as the cruise that is approaching in October 2025. If you haven't already made your deposit, please do so as soon as possible. Andre, I saw your text. I will respond. I'm kind of handicapped tonight. I'm working off my phone versus an actual computer, but I did see your text, and I will take care of that as soon as we get offline tonight. But if I'm not mistaken, if my manager, he kept me posted like he was supposed to, the book is almost finished and should be ready to go to publishing, hopefully by Black Friday.
Yeah, it should be the end of this week.
Okay.
It should be this week coming up. It should be ready.
Okay. All right. So we got quite a few new things coming out this year as well as the upcoming year. Like I said, if you're able and you are willing to come and participate with the cruise October 2025, we really would love for you to join us. We're expecting to have an amazing time. Mr. Carpenter says that he's going to be busy. He's going to be up all night. He's going to be busy trying to make everybody happy, making sure everybody is having fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing that, because I go to bed early. So, as always, I really do appreciate each and every one of you making the sacrifice to show up on Sunday nights at 9. But Mr. Carpenter, if you want to go ahead and bring us home tonight, I would greatly appreciate it.
Oh, and also, I think $25, they extended the $25 until the 26th of November, 26th this month, So you can
For
put the
what?
deposit. So $25 will hold
For
your
the
deposit
cruise.
on the cruise.
Yes, but that next deposit that is due, that $250 to secure your actual room, that is the deposit that needs to be made to get you, to book your official room. So it's not the $25, it's that $250.
Yeah, but the $25 will get your name on the roll.
That is correct. That's correct. But for some people, as we have noticed, have been wanting certain locations on the boat. So I wanted to say that in full transparency.
Okay, because I just want to be on the boat.
Okay, that's Mr. Carpenter. But I know other people that want to be on a certain level.
Okay, all right, got you. Okay, everybody, it's been fun. I see Dr. Johnson, I see Fire Tablet, I see Ramona. Hey, Ramona, I ain't speak to you yet. I see Angela, I see Cheryl, I see Gigi, and I saw Annette. Let's see what's on here tonight, because we want to let you know we appreciate you. Hey, Mildred, glad to see you, Mildred. Hi, Mildred. And Annette again, and hey, we miss you, Andre.
Hello.
Andre, you're the anchor, buddy. So you got to be here. We miss you. So it's glad to see you. You guys are the best at this Sunday night thing. You one who made this a reality for us. This container called Sunday Night at 9. Once again, where 20 of your girlfriends could get together on a Sunday night. You get your glass of wine, relax, and speak your truth. We're talking about relationships, and the relationships is not too many places that you can actually talk frank. And we try to have 1 or 2 men on this line so you can talk, you can ask men questions. But this basically, the sweet spot of this is a lady somewhere between the 30s and 65 years old. That's a sweet spot for this container. But this is a place that you can have fun. You can say what's on your mind, get some of your questions answered. So see you next week. Once again, thank you for being here. Talk to everybody next week. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Have a good night.
All right.
Good night.